Hello friends, welcome back to my channel and I hope you're having a great day so far. Thanks for clicking into this video. This is the first segment of my new series, Big Sis Diaries. I've been wanting to start this for so long because I felt like growing up I didn't have a big sis figure to really navigate me through my adult life. And now that I'm 28, I have a lot of advice to give just based on my personal experience, and I'm hoping to share that all with you. Today we're going to keep it very simple, where I'm just going to give the 5 tips I wish I knew or somebody told me when I was in my early 20s, late teens. So I'll share that with you today. I just ordered lunch, so we'll wait for lunch to come and then we'll eat and chat. Make sure to grab your own drink and snack and we'll go through everything together. Okay, I just got lunch. I got a spicy chicken burrito bowl from Bar Burrito. I'm very excited. My go-to burrito place is Mucho Burrito. So I thought I'd try something new. Yummy. And then I also got a dark roast with milk and a Boston cream donut, just for an extra treat. Oh, and of course, lots of water. Let's eat. This is like the messiest thing to eat. Smells good. Okay, let's take a first bite and then we'll get chatting. So I did spicy chicken with black beans, Mexican rice, cheese, lettuce, green peppers, pickled onions, tomatoes, corn, burrito sauce, and some kind of like smoky sauce. Maybe it was chipotle. Yeah, I was excited to try this. Cheers. It's good. It's nice and warm too. I actually hate black beans. Well, actually hate beans, but I'm trying to eat it more because it has a great source of fiber, has magnesium, but it's still something I don't love. Okay. Let's get it. So for tip number 1, and I know you've heard this from everyone, especially your parents or guardians or people around you or even social media, but if I could go back in time, the most important piece of advice I would give myself is to prioritize my wellness, diet, and daily movement. And I know it is so fun to just couch rot and scroll on social media all day after a long day's work, but trust me, it is so important to prioritize these things and you really feel it. All my life I have been heavier, I've been bigger, I've been obese, and I always thought, you know what, like it's okay, like I'm body positive. But the older I get, the more I feel it in my body. I feel my body ache, I feel heavy, I feel sluggish, I don't have any energy. And the last 2 years I've been really prioritizing my health and wellness, and it has done wonders for me. So it doesn't have to be something dramatic as going to the gym 5 days a week, but getting at least 5K or 10K steps a day, eating well, making sure that your body is filled with different nutrients, like not eating the same things every day. So incorporating maybe one new vegetable a week or one new fruit a week, and just having that variety of nutrients in you really does wonders. Having 8 hours of sleep, and I know everybody says this, right? And nobody does it, but it really works wonders. I wish I started my fitness journey sooner. I wish I started my wellness journey sooner, but honestly, it's better late than never. So if you feel like you wake up and you're just not loving life, you're not loving your body, you don't feel confident, please prioritize your wellness, your diet, and your daily movement, and you will feel so good in a couple of weeks. Trust me. I know everybody says that and you just don't want to do it because you're tired from work, but it is so important. I can do another video on what I did to start my wellness journey and how I lost so much weight and what kind of movement I do. But if I could give any advice to anybody who's young, please do not be lazy and prioritize your wellness. That was a lot to say with not a lot of eating. I kind of feared this video would end up like this. I would talk so much and I wouldn't get to actually eat lunch, but you know what? We'll learn. Pickled onions. Lots of pickled onions. I'm sorry if my teeth are touching the fork. I have lipstick on and lip gloss and I just don't want to eat all of it. I'm trying to grab the food with my teeth. I know that makes people cringe, but It's fine. Anyways, this is so good. I never get takeout. I told myself that every time I would do a Big Sis Diaries video, I would treat myself to takeout because I want this video to feel like you and I are chatting, we're FaceTiming, we're sisters. You're getting good advice from a sister. And I have so much trouble ordering food for myself. I only ever get takeout when I'm with somebody. So I was struggling. First, the cost. I didn't want to spend that much money. And second, just like, I don't know. I always make my food from home. I always eat fairly healthy aside from like weekend treats. So this was like a struggle, but I thought a burrito bowl is good because it has so many different elements, so much different nutrients I can get. So it's still healthy. And then I also got a treat just cause. Okay, point number 2. Everyone only cares about themselves, so you should too. If you are a chronic people pleaser, just like I was throughout the years, or even, all my life, if you're a chronic people pleaser, please, this one's for you. I spent so much of my time making sure that everybody loved me and making sure that everybody liked what I was doing and what I was doing for them. And I never prioritized myself. It actually took the pandemic in 2020 for me to realize that I should stop people pleasing, because even during the early days of the pandemic, I would go to people's houses and drop things off and stretch myself so thin when everybody was just hanging out at home doing their own thing, but nobody cares about you. And I know that sucks, but everybody has their own lives and their own problems that they're busy dealing with. And saying that, it's not a bad thing. Like, you should be happy that your loved ones are prioritizing themselves because life is hard, right? Life is expensive, life is hard, everybody has their own problems, everybody's dealing with their own future, but just think that you should be prioritizing yourself too. What I mean by that is you don't have to feel so anxious waiting for somebody to text you back, or waiting for someone to make plans with you, or going out of your way to, make somebody feel great above yourself if you're feeling bad or feeling really non-mood or just feeling down. Because at the end of the day, nobody cares about you, and you should stop expecting them to reciprocate or return the favor. Prioritize yourself, and the people who you want to make time for, squeeze the time in when you've already planned out your day or when you've already planned out your week, because dropping everything and seeing people or doing favors is just, at the end of the day, not going to be good for you. You should fill your cup up first. And it took me a really long time to realize that. I was always the kind of person who would plan family events, who would reach out to family and friends first, and nobody would do the same thing back. And I always felt hurt. I always thought that nobody cared about me and that all of my energy I've been reciprocating, I wasn't getting back. But growing up made me realize that it's not that they don't care about you, and it's not that they don't love you. It's just that they have their own problems, and maybe their problems are even greater than yours that they're handling at the moment, that they want to handle in private. So just let them do what they need to do. You make sure that your actions are coming from a place where you don't feel like it needs to be reciprocated. Like, if you want to treat somebody, if you want to do an errand for somebody, do not expect to get it back, because at the end of the day, people don't really think about you. They care about themselves more. That makes sense. Hopefully I didn't go back and forth on that, but if you know, you know. It's harsh to say, but not people only care about themselves at the end of the day. It's their problems, it's their life, and that's okay. That is okay. Just remember, you start doing that for yourself. I love pickled onions. It's been on my list to make 1, pickled onions, and 2, more chili oil, because I ran out of my favorite chili oil that I always make. And I keep forgetting. A burrito bowl was a great decision, but a bad decision for somebody who is messy, aka me. Let's have some Timmy's coffee. I was gonna get an ice cap, but I knew if I got an ice cap, I'd have to run to the bathroom, so. Does anybody else sit in their computer chair every way but how you're supposed to be sitting? Because I usually have like 1 leg up, 2 legs up, cross-legged. Sometimes I even squat, and it's bad for your knees, but it's a bad habit I can't seem to break. I just love my legs on the chair. I can't explain it. 1 bite, and then we'll do tip number 3. Oh, I just realized I got spicy chicken. It's not spicy at all. Or maybe I have a really high spice tolerance. Probably both. Anyways. Tip number 3, save money early and have an emergency fund. I cannot stress this enough. When you are in your teens and your young 20s, it feels like money will always come back. And you know what? That is true. Money will come back. You'll be working until you retire. It is expensive out here, but I cannot tell you the stress that comes from finances is the worst stress that you can imagine because it consumes you basically. And what I mean to say is that when you feel like you won't have money for the next month, or anytime something can break down, you're not prepared, it is so stressful. And as you become an adult and you have more adult bills, maybe you have a pet, maybe you own your house, maybe you own your car, and your pet has an unexpected vet bill, your car breaks down, something needs to be replaced in your house, and you don't have that money, you basically need to balance out whether or not you're going to eat or have to pay rent next month, or have money to pay rent or your mortgage next month, or do that repair. And sometimes that repair is a must, or that, hospital bill, the vet bill is a must, and you are left with nothing. And it is so stressful. It brings you into a spiral. Worrying about finances is just the worst stress. And I know everybody says this, but if you save money early, or even put like a portion into an investment account every month like I do, it goes such a long way. Your mind feels so relaxed knowing that you have that backup. And for me, I was just spending a crazy amount of money. I was in a lot of debt in my early 20s, and it would make me sad, like seeing my credit card bill every month and knowing that I was living paycheck to paycheck was just the saddest thing. And I know right now the economy is not doing well. Bills are getting expensive, food's getting expensive, but if you can save even a little bit, it will go a long way. Putting money into a high yield savings account or investing even like $50 a month really goes a long way. I highly recommend starting it. If you don't have any money, even a little bit, even like $10, $20, like start small and then build up, and you will feel so much better. Because I don't think you'll ever really feel financially stable. I know a lot of people say you can, and that's okay, but like if that was the fact, then why are there so many millionaires and billionaires still working their butt off, right? Like it's never going to feel enough, but it will feel great that you have a backup in case anything goes down. My husband got into a car accident last year and our car got totaled, and we had to buy a new car. And we're always, a lot of people don't agree with this, but we're always finance a new car kind of people. We had our first car for 8 years and we were already done payment, so we had no monthly car payments. And this year we live in a place where it snows a lot, so we were like, okay, like let's get like a bigger and safer car, because we had like a small Honda Civic. So we went and got an SUV, and it was the best decision. We had the money to use because we've been saving money. We have that backup fund, so we bought a new car, we bought an SUV, and honestly it's been the best decision. It's been great driving it in the snow. It's what our family needed as the next step up, and I didn't feel stressed about it because we had that money back up. But now, after we bought the car, I had to focus on rebuilding those savings. That's what I've been doing right now, and it's a lot of sacrifice. I can't just buy whatever I want. I can't do whatever I want. I can't travel because I'm focusing on putting money back in. However, the peace I feel just beats it all. Like the peace I feel from being able to put savings into my family bank account is just, it's unmatched. So definitely save, have fun, but save. Even if it's a small amount, just start small. Okay, besties, on to a little bit of letter advice. Tip 4, always have a hobby. Work, it takes up so much of your day. Sleep takes up so much of your day. So when you're done both having 7 to 8 hours of sleep and then having 8 hours of work plus commute time, you only have a little bit of time to do things that you like, which is, maybe cooking, eating, self-care, all of that stuff. But my recommendation is to always have a hobby. It is always nice to have a hobby. As somebody who has multiple hobbies, I literally have like a closet of hobbies right in front of me. It's always important to have a hobby because, one, it makes you more interesting, so that when people ask you, even in job interviews, even when you're socializing, if people ask you, what do you do in your spare time? You have something to pull out. Like, how uninteresting is it for somebody to be like, nothing. all I do is scroll on social media all day when I'm at home on the weekends, when I'm not working. Right? But how cool is it to say is, oh, I've been getting into watercolor painting. I've been painting, flowers. I've been learning techniques, XYZ. So make sure it's always important to have a hobby to keep yourself interesting. And then also, in general, having a hobby is so good for your brain. Whether it's puzzles, painting, sewing, coloring, crafting, anything active like going to the gym, doing Pilates, any hobby like that, it is so nice to kind of switch off your mind from your daily life or your daily stresses or your work stresses and just have fun doing a hobby, training your brain, learning a new skill, and again, keeps you interesting. So please always have a hobby. It is so great to just unwind and do that hobby. Oh, gaming too. Gaming's a great hobby. I love doing puzzle games. I think I'll do a more in-depth video of all the hobbies I do in my spare time and how great it has been for me. But yes, always have a hobby on hand. It could be very, very cheap. You could literally start by going to the Dollarama and getting a few things like crafting things, or there's even sewing things, or there's painting, reading, puzzle book, even cooking things, like literally anything. Just start one, get your mind off it, and you could also make it kind of a challenge for yourself to be an expert or professional at that hobby, which is really great. And sometimes it can even translate to a business long term. So always start, find a passion, find something that's away from your regular life work, and it will just be so great for your life. And as an adult, because the more you become an adult, the more that time escapes you. And that is the truth. Time flies the older you get. So just having new things to start is so important. I wish I started so many of my hobbies when I was younger, but this year I'm hoping to learn dance and I'm hoping to join like a Pilates studio. So I'm really excited for both of that. Okay, we've got our last tip. I'm probably not going to finish this. I'm going to probably eat half of this for dinner. Let's have this sweet treat. Last tip, and a Boston cream sweet treat. I haven't had a donut in so long. Last tip, and this is such an important tip. I literally just learned it last year, and I wish I did this sooner. It is important to have solo dates, which goes and ties into the whole hobbies thing. The only person that will be with you throughout your whole entire life, side by side with you, is yourself. And I know that sounds super, super cliche and cheesy, but it is true. You are the only person that will be with you 24/7, 365, all your life. And it is important to make sure that you love yourself, that you prioritize yourself, and you have a great relationship with yourself, because it starts from you. To have a good relationship with other people and to really spread and know your value, it starts with you. It starts with prioritizing yourself. I never prioritized myself when I was younger. Again, it ties into everything I've said in the beginning of the video, but I often would neglect my own self-care. And now, looking back, I really wish I had more solo dates with myself. That includes setting time to grab a meal that you enjoy, setting time to grab some coffee, do your hobbies that you enjoy, and honestly, like anything that makes you feel good, I think is so important. It's so important to have alone time, even if you're in a long-term relationship or you have a family. It is super important to set that time. I've already told my husband, because I have been married for 5 years, going on 6 years this year, that I'm going to incorporate more solo dates. So that means setting time at least once a month. It's preferably once a week. That's good, but at least once a month, to really just focus on doing things alone. Last month, I went to the mall by myself. I grabbed some food. I walked around and shopped, and that was only like a couple hours of my day. This month, I want to set some time to make a baked good. have some coffee, and then I want to color. I want to color. I want to have time to myself, notifications off, not talking to anybody, just being alone. And it just works wonders. It just makes you think about how much you value yourself and your time, and it replenishes you so much. And I highly recommend having solo dates. I know it's daunting. I was kind of the type of person that would never want to eat alone. So every time I was alone, it would just be like a quick bar or a fruit, or like nothing that would be a sit down meal. But moving forward, it's just so important to continue to date yourself, continue to learn new things yourself, and prioritize your well being. I can't stress that enough. And I know being in your 20s, it's just so exciting to be around so many new people and doing all of these experiences. But please, 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 you are so important. Your self worth, your self love is the utmost priority. Please make sure that you make time for yourself, because it goes such a long way. And I am so proud of myself. I'm able to eat alone. I'm able to do things alone. It's just a game changer, and it makes a huge difference. Anyways, I think I'm going to end the video here because I've done more yapping than eating. All my food is still full. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is the first part of the Big Sis Advice series. I will go into more depth in different topics, but I wanted to just give some advice that I wish I had myself in my early 20s. But I hope you guys like this video. Make sure to subscribe, like, and comment on what topics you'd want to hear in the future. Honestly, sky's the limit. I'm happy to talk about anything that you need help on, or anything that you want to chat on or chat about. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna have lunch. Thank you so much for clicking and watching. Bye.